For more great content, hit the subscribe button and ring the bell.
Hawks, just say something that's not gonna anger me. Come on.
No, I'm angering you right now as fast as I can.
Oh,
We're
no.
putting Silco and Pantheon right next to Victor.
Oh,
I'm gonna actually do something before someone else does it and does it wrong. It's another Shadow Realm, and it's Heimerdinger. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Heimerdinger goes straight into this. Yeah, she's just kind of like there. She shows up, and Victor's like hex before sex, and like, yeah.
welcome back to another episode of Top Tier, where we rank all things in esports. Another word, a show where I'm always right and all of my guests are always wrong. And speaking of the guests here, we've got Nick, we've got Parks as well. Lily, thank goodness we have you here to kind of bring some calm into the storm. This week, we're ranking characters from Arcane. If you haven't seen Arcane, there's going to be tons of spoilers here. I suggest you pause the video, go watch it, and then come back and see if our opinions align with yours.
Alright guys, this episode follows the usual rules and structure. They'll take turns placing characters and get one executive decision at the end. I liked Jinx the most. Let me know in the comments what your favorite character was.
I think we need to start off strong and just get the most obvious one out of the way, the one that none of us have to argue about, which is Victor. Please put him in Pantheon and not move him at all. He deserves that #1 spot in the entire show. Parks, just say something that's not gonna anger me. Come on.
No, I'm angering you right now as fast as I can.
Oh,
We're putting Silco and Pantheon right next to Victor.
Oh,
because guess what? Silco is a great villain. He doesn't necessarily need the backstory because we kind of get like little bits and pieces of it, and I'm really hoping that they explore it more in the second season.
If you're gonna build like a father-daughter relationship, we need to see the relationship. We don't see it ever. We only see scenes of him being like, oh my god, I love you, I'm not gonna give you up. But why? It makes me feel less immersed because I'm constantly questioning like, oh, this is a bit of a weird thing to say for someone that we don't have any idea. Like, when I first saw Silco and Jinx, I literally thought they were in a romantic relationship, not a father and daughter relationship.
I understand what you're saying. I understand your reasoning. However, he got drowned or almost drowned by his own brother. And he had to do something to save his life, and it was something that he obviously didn't want to do, and then that's kind of like his big driving thing.
There's literally no progression of his character. He's the same exact person from episode 1 to episode 9.
I think that's kind of the point.
For me, Silco was not well done enough to be Pantheon. Especially, if you compare it to the other Pantheon characters.
You see the real him, that's when he has his real vulnerability. When they say you can have everything you've ever wanted, everything you've ever worked towards, all you have to do is give up Jinx, and he's unwilling to do so. That's, to me, like that was the big defining moment, and I think that's very touching. And Pantheon. Anyway, next person.
I think.
So I'm on this episode to be the thirsty gay, so of course Vi is gonna go straight to Pantheon.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Agreed.
Agreed.
I wanted to see her and Caitlyn make out. That's my only problem.
So, Lexi, the sixth character from the left, this person. Oh my god.
Oh, he literally is the definition of like, you don't even go here.
He looks like a penny whistle. He's just sitting there just to disagree with what everybody else in the council says. He also is kind of like also menacing as hell.
Jace
Don't
does not
start.
belong in
Swear
Pantheon.
to God, Stu.
Okay.
Oh yeah, no, not at all.
Oh, okay, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I'm gonna do it. Let's put Jace in good. I don't even think this mother deserves great. He was extremely frustrating to watch. I felt like he was a little bit one-dimensional, and I ultimately could not give a flying about him if he wasn't with Victor. As like one of the main protagonists, I felt like he was the weakest one, because I do feel like everybody else is minimum great. I also didn't want that sex scene. Like, that was not the sex scene I wanted.
I think you put Jace too high on a list, but that's my opinion.
Ooh, really?
Okay.
I'll go for Singed. I thought Singed was really fun. I thought he was in it an appropriate amount. He wasn't a main character. You know what? I'm going to put him in great
Yeah, you can't put him in the
because
same tier as Jace.
Well, Jace just isn't gonna stay there. I think Benj actually was just utilized very well. It was interesting because you could tell that he cared very much about like the individuals that he interacted with.
I think it's a good sign where you want to know more about him in season 2.
Mhm.
You know.
I'm gonna actually do something before someone else does it and does it wrong. It's another Shadow Realm, and it's Heimerdinger. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Heimerdinger goes straight into the Shadow Realm because this mother's been around for 700 years and is
Oh
only
my
given a shit
God.
about himself. Hasn't helped anybody in 700 years. Goes on, Jace, don't mess with magic. I've seen what it can do. Okay, like what happened? Tell me.
I actually loved the Heimerdinger Echo dynamic. Like, I would happily watch more of just them two from different worlds and like from different
Yeah.
positions, status, and like interacting. I would love that. Poor Heimer, I'm gonna come rescue you, Heimerdinger. Don't worry, I got you. I'm gonna snatch a popular pick because I'm wearing an Echo t-shirt, as you guys at home can see. So Echo is 100% Pantheon. I was super excited because, like, you know, when they did the whole reveal, like everybody knew that was Echo, surely, right? His relationships, like from young Echo to older Echo, was really interesting with all of the other characters. And I think that scene of Vi like giving him that big hug, I cried. But I also think he was by far aesthetically the best character in the entire show. Don't at me.
All right, I'm gonna take another big one and put Caitlyn straight in the pantheon because you gotta have my Thunder
Yeah.
lesbians together.
Yeah, can you move Echo to the left one or to the right one?
Yeah,
or
let's just
somewhere?
make them
There
kiss.
you go.
There we go. Thank you.
There we go.
I'm appeased. My job here is
Wait.
done.
Is it?
I'm actually gonna go ahead and take Sevika, and
Ooh.
I'm gonna
Yep.
put Sevika in great because they took someone that like you didn't really think you were gonna care at all about. You could kind of get a sense for like her motivations. She was fun. Like I wanted to see more of her. Like the fights with Vi were like really cool. You know, like a second in command. I thought she was really fun to watch.
I'm gonna take Marcus and put him in good.
What?
Ooh, interesting.
Because
Ooh.
while he was a dickhead the entire show, he was super foundational to all of the shit that happened between Piltover and Zahn.
No, he tried to kill Caitlyn.
He tried to kill
He did
a lot of people.
things.
The audacity.
I hated this guy so much.
I hated this
but
guy as well.
Yeah.
But at first, it was definitely the okay, who stole the orbs? But as time went on, it definitely became an exploitative thing from Silco, and like you can't back
Thing is-
out of those sort of situations.
I don't think I would have minded him as much if he wasn't such a weasel. Like, this guy is Randall from Recess. I don't know if you guys ever watched Recess.
I think I can defend this one. Let's
it.
go to Miss Medarda.
Do it,
If
King, I'll
we got
support you.
one more episode with her, I would Pantheon her, but she's going into great
Yes.
because
Let's do it.
thank God, like she came on the screen and owned this show. Like
Every single scene.
yes, she was a Noxian, like through and through.
Mhm.
Like that's just what I loved. The little backstory we got, the scene when she gave Mel like, what should we do? Should we like kill or leave this person? And she's just like, no, I'm just gonna kill him anyway. Like I thought that was just like the perfect embodiment of like what Noxus kind of is to Piltover,
Mhm.
and then like how we see Mel now.
Her inclusion was kind of like a band-aid for, oh, we need to just get the story moving, so let's just bring in Mel's mom and make her cause some shit.
I felt like they should have brought her in earlier, or like Nick said, one more episode.
Yeah,
earlier.
either way.
Yeah.
Like, I wish that she had come in at the end of Act 2 or something.
She's more of a vehicle to get you to understand like Mel. It added just a little bit more complexity to like her character.
I would have loved it if she was only in, like, backstory stuff.
All right, I'm here with another hot take.
Oh, God.
Grab the first counselor, Caitlyn's mom, and put her in good. Because I loved every
Oh.
single scene she was in. That scene where she kicked down the door and you just have Vi and Kate looking at her with holding a gun.
I felt like she switched so fast for no reason, though. She spent the whole show being like, Caitlyn, you need to not speak to Jace, you need to do this, you need to do that. But like 2 seconds after seeing Vi, she's like, okay, you can present in front of the council. Like, what the f? I didn't like her at all. I would have Shadow Realmed her, I'm not gonna lie.
If you told me like, hey, this is Caitlyn's mom, and like I watched all of her scenes, I'd be like, well, that's fun. So I'm gonna go with Milo. Actually, I'm going to put Milo in great
Stuff.
because
Ew.
so no. I had to write about this, and I thought it came to my head. So I actually think that Milo's scenes in the beginning of the show drew out like some of the best qualities of like Vi and Powder like at that age. Him like antagonizing Powder, but also like Vi would stick up for her. I thought he was this like really cool character that if he obviously didn't die at the end of like I think that he would have been like very fun to watch.
He was very motivating for Jinx, obviously, because he keeps popping up like blacklit graffiti version of her
Oh,
like
the ghost.
demon, essentially.
All right, Lexi, please go to the first counselor left on the list. Yo, her next shit was so mesmerizing. I wanted to know what that was. I wanted to know why that was, and I wanted to know how that was. So let's put her in good.
I'm gonna just grab Vander because I think it's very easy. I'm gonna put him in Pantheon. I think he was an incredibly lovable character. I think him dying was unfortunate, but probably necessary. And maybe he's Warwick, and maybe he isn't. And the fact that we're all so like eager to find out.
I'm hoping he's still alive some way, somehow.
His relationship with Vi was so much more interesting than Silco's relationship with Jinx, in my opinion. And I felt his relationship with Vi, and also he was like an anti-hero, and he was everything that I think Silco could have been.
I'm gonna take Sky and put her straight to the Shadow Realm because I liked her.
No!
I liked her. I thought she was really cute. But we posted a meme on the brand account Twitter the other day, and Twitter comments changed my mind.
No,
that she existed
like
purely
her.
as a plot device for Victor. The only reason they killed her is for Victor to move along.
But that's the same as all of the other characters that died, though. Same as Vander, same as Milo, same as
but we didn't know those characters. She was literally in the background the whole time, like, and then they made it out to be this big, gigantic thing to Victor that she died when, like, we don't see anything about their relationship at all.
Yeah, she's just kind of like there. She shows up and Victor's like hex before sex and like yeah. You know what? I'll take Grayson, actually.
Oh, I love her.
So voice actress.
I'm literally a legend and did an incredible job in this show. I thought it was an insane performance. I'm gonna go ahead and put her in good. Like so here's the thing.
No, she's in the same tier as Marcus.
I'll explain. Her character didn't leave that much of an impact on me, but I liked her more when we got to see her relationship with Caitlyn.
Yes.
We might as well move her up to great. I personally don't get it because I'm a dum-dum, but I acknowledge that it's great.
Yes.
I'll go with Mel. I think that Mel is Pantheon. I actually really hated Jace. He got on my nerves. In this show, he's the biggest pushover, and I thought that Mel did a perfect job like guiding Jace along the story. She very much is like the puppet master to like all of the political like intrigue and stuff going in the background. Every time she's on the screen, she's saying something and you're not exactly sure what her motivations are. Again, like later, I think it becomes a little bit more clear. I did not expect like her to be a character like that. And in my opinion, she's like the most memorable character, one of the most memorable characters on the show.
She's not a League of Legends character, so it's hard to care about her, but I think she did enough for us to care about her.
I think that's why I care about her more.
I'm gonna do something tough and say some very unpopular things. I'm gonna take Jinx. Powder for me was an incredibly good character. If I could put Powder somewhere, I would have Pantheoned her, especially seeing it from like a child's perspective. Her relationships with everybody, like kind of vulnerabilities, her onset, like her early onset of just like craziness that she was going through. I really enjoyed that. Jinx for me is a very tough character to get wrong. I actually think Powder was like super nuanced and it was really cool for them to write her that way. But Jinx for me was like everything I expected her to be. Everything was so predictable when she became Jinx. When she was Powder, I was like, oh, what is she gonna do? Oh, okay. When it was Jinx, it was like, oh, she's just a joker. Like, okay, cool. I'm gonna put Jinx in great, but I would, if it was Powder, Pantheon, Jinx, great.
She actually started to become a little too much when she was on screen for me.
By the beginning of the third act, I actually didn't care at all what was happening with Jinx. I was way more invested in what was going on with Vi and Caitlyn.
Even her sister, who was always protecting her and encouraging her, she felt like she wasn't even enough for that. And then you see the same thing later on when she finally uses the flare. It starts going well, and then everything looks wrong. Caitlyn comes up at the exact wrong time. Then they get stolen, and she feels like she just got betrayed. So she never feels good enough. And then Silco, like something weird happens with him, and she feels like now Silco is betraying her. Like she just always feels like she's not enough for whoever is around her. And so that's kind of her driving force. Executive order.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna go one by one now and try and ruin this tier list, which so far it's not actually that bad. I think we've done a good job, but it would look even better if we had one of the professors where he should be. Ha ha. Let's rescue Heimerdinger and put him in great, please. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna fix your mistake and put Jace in the Shadow Realm. Because my biggest issue with him is everything that we've already said throughout this entire show. And then my second biggest issue with him is he's incredibly selfish. And my third biggest issue with him is he changes way too damn much. He had that one line too where Victor was like, bro, like I'm about to die, but like maybe we could save my life if we both work together. And Jace was like, he was like, dude, I'm on the council now. It's like, what? What? You don't care at all. And then he later had the line where he was like, the Undercity, they're dangerous. And Victor's like, I'm from the Undercity. Like, you asshole.
Oh yeah, he literally, that really pissed me off.
Be your best
Yeah.
That really pissed me off.
Say that in front of him.
Yeah.
The more this episode went on, the more I realized I do not like Silco. So take Silco from the Pantheon. Good.
Ooh, I would have put him in great, but good is okay.
He was very like in the background the entire time, and
He saved
most of it was
Jinx.
Jinx causing problems and Jinx doing things, and like all he did was clean up her mess.
He was trying to have a family. He was doing the same thing that Vander was doing.
Even though we were like, he loves Jinx, but like I didn't really buy it. I didn't buy that relationship at all.
We only got like a bunch of his external motivators.
But like we didn't see enough of his like rise to power for me to care.
This list is looking good. I'm not gonna lie.
It's looking really good.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, now I gotta be careful here. I'm looking at Caitlyn's mom.
Yes.
Because I think that she's in good, and I did enjoy her scenes, but I'm gonna be honest, I have a hard time saying that she was good, because she gave us some good scenes and like some interesting dialogue, but like, I think if she never showed one time, I honestly don't think anything changes about the show. So I'm gonna move her to indifferent.
That is enough from us, from the panel for this episode. Let us know in the comments how angry you are with us. I don't think you're going to be as angry as Parks, but I challenge you guys to be as angry as Parks. But once again, thank you to my panelists, Nick, Parks, and Lily. Thank you to Lexi, as always, for being our tier master. Give us a like and subscribe if you enjoy our content, and we'll be back next week with another episode of Top Tier.